Presidente Sargsyan,
President Sargsyan, there appears to be a sense of optimism about the possible outcome of the meeting to be held in Kazan. Does this suggest you're prepared to make concessions despite the difficulties, as you said in a speech at the Council of Europe?
Optimism is a good thing, but I would rather be constructive. And I must say, my expectations are not that great. You mentioned concessions, but we are against unilateral concessions. We are for bilateral concessions. Must we make concessions with a state that is prepared to train weapons on us? As I said at the Council of Europe, the European Committee Against Racism and Intolerance noted in a recent report on Azerbaijan that there is intolerance and anti-Armenian sentiment. This is not the case in Armenia. We must end this anti-Armenian sentiment and build a future on mutual trust.
You said it's not possible to negotiate a peace agreement without the right to self-determination for Nagorno-Karabakh. But it's a condition Azerbaijan rejects. So how do you intend to break the deadlock?
If Azerbaijan does not accept the principles, then how can they say that the principles of the Treaty of Madrid are the foundations on which we continue the negotiations and find a solution to the problem? We know there are three principles: the non-use of force and threat of force, territorial integrity, and the right to self-determination. It is not only our principles that were written into the Treaty of Madrid. It seems a bit strange that for years Azerbaijan has negotiated on a document where it doesn't even accept the basic principles.
For you, the self-determination for Nagorno-Karabakh is a prerequisite to negotiate a deal. And if Azerbaijan has already rejected this condition, perhaps we can say there will be no agreement and no progress in Kazan.
Azerbaijan declares that it is against one or two of the foundations of the treaty. Therefore, is the international community saying it does not recognize the right to self-determination? The second scenario will mean the progress of recent decades will be lost, because if the right to self-determination is not feasible, how was it possible to create 10 new states from other states? Just look at the example of Kosovo. I also recall that there was another region of Azerbaijan populated by Armenians, the Autonomous Republic of Nakhchivan. But there are no longer any Armenians living there.
During the last G8 meeting in Deauville, the presidents of the United States, France and Russia said the situation was no longer acceptable and an agreement must be reached without delay. Do you think that international mediators are getting a little tired of the deadlock? The Minsk Group, US, France and Russia, said Kazan is the last chance to agree.
No, I don't think the international community is tired. The international community has called on Armenia, Karabakh and Azerbaijan to give a definitive answer on whether or not we are ready to move towards a solution based on these principles. We have been told to answer yes or no without delay. This is the question we have to answer in Kazan.